Hello all, welcome to the new Simply Put series by Kalam Academy. This is Priyanka Mahapatra, faculty at Kalam. Today we'll be having a discussion on the newspaper dated 8th December 2023. So the text and the context section of the Hindu newspaper has got a very important article from our exam point of view, that is about regulating deepfakes and artificial intelligence in India. So we would be discussing this in detail. Again, coming to the explain section of the Indian Express newspaper, two important articles are published today. That is about the Article 19 of the UN Charter and about the mining of critical minerals. Why it is important and what is the auction process. So let's get started. So these are the three articles we are going to discuss today, which are displayed on your screen. So let's now come to the first article of the day, that is regulating deepfakes and artificial intelligence in India. So why this is in news? Because nowadays very frequently we can see that so much of morphed videos, morphed audio clips, morphed pictures concerning celebrities are roaming all over the internet. And it has sparked a shock and horror among the netizens that how exactly can it happen? For that matter, serious concern has also arisen in the run up to the general elections that is going to happen next year, that AI or deepfake can be very much used to defame the political leaders, to create confusion, to spread misinformation about a political party, about its agenda, about the various policies and schemes. So now the question arises that why the deepfakes are so dangerous? What makes it so dangerous? Again, are we having enough legal measures against it to fight against it, or we are facing a legal vacuum? What are the international best practices regarding it? And in the way forward, what should be the regulatory response according to experts? So these questions we will be delving into the discussion today, right? So what is deepfake? So it is a digital media concerning the video, audio in the form of images. They are being edited and manipulated using technology, using AI and machine learning like technology, where the images, audio, video, they are edited and flown in the internet. They spread very fast and they are quite affordable also. Anybody can do it. No skills required. So basically it is a hyper realistic digital falsification which can potentially be used to damage someone's reputation, fabricate the evidence, and undermine the trust in the democratic institutions by defaming the political leaders or a political party or a ruling government. Right? There's so many examples, you should keep it in your notebook and you can directly use it in your answer writing. So there is a doctor video of Madhya Pradesh Congress chief Kamal Nath that went viral that created confusion over a future of a state scheme, Ladli Behna scheme. Again, you had seen that how a deepfake video of Ukrainian president, he asked to lay down their weapons, went viral after the cyber criminals hacked into the television channel of Ukraine. So these deepfake videos we can see very frequently nowadays, and how it is actually creating confusion and spreading misinformation. So the first ever use of deepfake technology can be traced to 2017 when it was used to create pornographic content. How? By imposing the faces of celebrities onto the bodies of ordinary people. That is how they morph the video and the pictures. So now you would have understood that how the deepfake or the AI like technology can be used to edit an image or morph a video to an extent that it cannot be identified easily. So from here you can imagine there can be benefits in the education sector, there can be benefits in the film production sector because of its nature. It can benefit the criminal forensics, it can benefit the artistic expression. So it has some clear benefits also. But more than that, it has been misused nowadays. So there are some challenges There is a gendered effect associated with it also, where women is impacted the most. So here, using this technology, we are actually blurring the line between what is real, what is unreal. Therefore, it is easily used to exploit people. It is easily used to sabotage elections. How? There are automated social media campaigns generated using technology to spread misinformation. Then there can be manipulation of online discussions concerning political leaders. Thereby, it can be used to spread large-scale misinformation. And from the woman point of view, internet was already a hostile place for them. The online platforms were already a bad place for them. And now with the deepfake technology, it has become more worse. It is more bigger problem for women now. In 2019, a study by AI firm DeepTrace, it found that a staggering 96% of the deepfakes were pornographic and 99% of them involved women. You can see the extent of misuse of women using technology like deepfake. Then there is another very big challenge that it doesn't require any rocket science. It can easily be generated by semi-skilled or unskilled individuals. And the tools which are there to create such morphed videos, they're easily available, they're faster, they're cheaper, and they're more accessible than ever. And the images, they are harder to detect. We are unable to identify which is real, which is unreal, which makes it more challenging. So there is a need to fight this menace. There are some tools being used by certain institutions, being developed by certain universities on very localized level. Such as MIT has created a deepfakes website that helps people to identify deepfakes by focusing on very small details. Then coming to the existing laws, yes, India is lacking specific laws to address these emerging technologies because the existing legislations, whatever we are having, they were not designed keeping these emerging technologies into consideration. But yes, there are certain provisions under the existing legislations which could offer both civil and criminal relief. For example, the Ministry of Electronics and IT, it has the power to send advisories to the social media platforms to take down such content within 24 hours. Again, 66E of the IT Act 2000, it can be applicable in cases of deepfake crimes, which involves the capturing, publication, and transmission of person's image in mass media, violating the privacy. Again, 66D of the IT Act, it can entail punishment for cheating, and it can come up with a fine up to 1 lakh rupees. Again, Rule 3B of the IT rules, it can also force a social media platform to take down content within 24 hours of receipt of a complaint. Again, the Copyright Act of 1957, it can be also used if any copyrighted image or video has been used to generate deepfake. Again, the Delhi Police Special Cell can also register an FIR against the unknown persons by invoking forgery, the sections concerning forgery as done in the Mandana case. So the existing laws, whichever we are having, we just discussed, they're not so really adequate to fight the menace of deepfakes particularly. Why? Because they were never sort of designed keeping in mind these emerging technologies. Again, there is a problem that the existing regulations, they address in cases where the illegal content has already been uploaded or the resultant harm has already been done, instead of taking preventive measures to avoid such incidents. Another challenge is that the current regulation is only focusing on the online takedowns in the form of censorship or the criminal prosecution. And we are actually not focusing on the preventive measures, and we are actually not focusing on the deeper understanding of how the AI technology is working, what range of harm it can do, right? So there should be a focus on the preventive measures firstly, so that we can check the floating of the images online and report them instantly for the removal, and also make the users aware that they are looking at a morphed picture. Again, another problem is that we are placing the entire burden on the victim to file a complaint, right? And the experience with the police station when the victim is going to file his or her FIR, we know that our experience is less than satisfactory in terms of the investigation process, in terms of punishing the criminal. So the way out here is to have a regulatory framework based on the market study. In the market study, we'll assess the different kind of harm the AI technology can cause. Along with that, we need to have a robust enforcement mechanism, because designing laws is one thing. Then also it is important to enforce the laws, to actually implement the laws. So we need to have a proper institutional capacity to be able to implement those laws. For that, we need to have a robust enforcement mechanism. So bringing about piecemeal legislative amendments is not the solution. We need to move very systematically, bringing the market study into picture, bringing the enforcement mechanism into picture, right? So government response seeing these deepfakes circulating in the social media has been very serious now. It has announced that it will introduce draft regulations within very short period of time that will be open for public consultation. And those draft regulations that will impose accountability on both creators as well as social media intermediaries like Facebook, Google, YouTube, right? And till the time we are having a proper law in our hand, the existing laws can also be adequately utilized to deal with the deepfakes if it is enforced very strictly. For example, special officer under Rule 7 officer can be appointed to closely monitor such violations. Then online platform will be also set up to assist the users, the aggrieved victims and the citizens in filing FIRs for the deepfake crime. Judicial intervention so far has been from the Delhi High Court when it has expressed reservations for the issue, and also it has said that the government is better suited to address the issue in a balanced manner, right? Coming to the international best practices, yes, we have some best practices by US, UK, China. In US Congress, Deepfakes Accountability Bill in 2023 has been passed, which required the creators to label deepfakes. It is talking about labeling and watermarking the deepfakes on online platforms, failure to which it will invite the criminal action. Again, the Cyberspace Administration of China, it has also made some measures to curb disinformation. Then the EU has also strengthened its code of practice on disinformation, where the social media giants like Google, Meta, and Twitter, they will flag those deepfake content. Otherwise, they will be facing a huge fine. There is a proposed EU AI Act where the deepfake providers will be subjected to the transparency and the disclosure requirements. So these are the international best practices you should be knowing if you want to write an answer on the deepfake. Then the way forward. So we know now that how AI as a technology, it can provide benefits also. So there needs to be a balance, right? So we have to assimilate it in such a way that it can improve the human welfare on every metric while limiting the challenges it can impose. So some challenges it is imposing, we will limit that. Along with it, we will allow it to thrive, to improve the human welfare on every metric. And more importantly, in a country like India, where innovation is very important now, India is developing. So we cannot stop innovation in the name of restricting artificial intelligence. And together with that, we need to have proper awareness, institution building, standards of safety, right? So this is the way forward you need to write. So this is the end of this topic's discussion. Now we come to the second article of the day, that is mining for critical minerals. What is the auction process and why it is important? So here critical minerals is very, very important from your prelims point of view. Overall, this article is important from your prelims point of view. So you need to know here that where it is found, which states are rich in which minerals, which critical minerals, what is the auction process, who is responsible for the auction process, state government or the central government. So these details you should be knowing from your prelims point of view. They can be very well put in the options or come as match the following in your prelims exam. So why this is in news? Because 20 blocks of critical minerals, they are currently on auction for commercial mining by the private sector. Where? What is the states associated in the auctioning process? It is Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Bihar, UP, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Jammu Kashmir. So Tamil Nadu is having auction for the mineral molybdenum. Odisha is similarly having for the deposits of nickel, copper, graphite and manganese. So about this auction process, what is so special? The rights related to the mining of lithium ore is been auctioned for the very first time. This you need to remember. Other minerals which are important in the blocks are nickel, copper, molybdenum and rare earth elements. Why they are important? They are important for the utilization in the vehicle batteries, energy storage devices, consumer electronics and vital industrial processes. And why this auctioning of critical minerals is important? Because it can cut down the imports. You know that how much we are importing. We are importing 100% of the lithium ore. So in this way, we can cut down the import cost and build an Atmanirbhar Bharat. So coming to the sort of rights that are being auctioned, there are two types of licenses under which rights are auctioned: mining license and composite license. So in the mining license, the licensee can begin mining operations after obtaining the requisite clearances. But in the composite license, it is about geological exploration of the minerals. Geological exploration of the area so as to ascertain the evidence of the mineral contents in that area. Right? Then there can be a possibility that the composite licensee wants to convert into a mining licensee so that he can also begin the mining processes. Yes, there is a possibility that when the composite licensee collects all the sufficient information on the mineral deposits there, they can make an application to the relevant state government to convert their CL composite license to mining license. In fact, the composite licensee over here, he has some 3 to 5 years of time to complete the prescribed level of exploration there. And if they fail to do that, the license will be withdrawn. Right? So if they fail to explore certain prescribed level of exploration of minerals there, then the license would be withdrawn and they cannot apply for the mining license henceforth. So coming to the estimated reserves of the key critical minerals in these blocks. So J&K, it has lithium reserves and titanium reserves. Chhattisgarh, it has lithium and rare earth elements. Then Bihar, Gujarat and Odisha, it has nickel ore reserves. So these are very important from your prelims point of view. They can come in the match the following. You should be knowing which state is rich in which mineral. So coming to the imports, India is importing 2,145 tons of lithium carbonate and lithium oxide. So you know how much we are depending on the imports of the lithium mineral. And it is costing around 732 crores to us. So here you need to know that the lithium oxide has more percentage of lithium than the lithium carbonate. Lithium oxide has 29%. This can also come as an option, that which form of lithium has more percentage of lithium. And India is 100% reliant on imports of its lithium and nickel demand as of now. Very, very important facts you need to remember. Then who explores the critical mineral reserves? It is the Geological Survey of India under the Ministry of Mines, who is responsible for exploring the critical mineral reserves in the country. Currently, it has taken up some 125 projects. And there is a ministry recommendation with this regard, that there has to be a center of excellence for critical minerals, which can frame policies and incentives for creating a complete value chain of critical minerals in our country. This you need to remember for your information, or you can write it under the Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India, right? Where we are wanting to have our own center of excellence for the critical minerals. This is a prelims pointer again, Geological Survey of India under the Ministry of Mines, you need to remember, who is responsible for exploring critical mineral reserves in our country. So this was all about this topic. Let's now come to the third article of the day, that is Article 99 of the UN Charter, that is invoked for the first time in decades. So what is Article 99 of the UN Charter here? What is UN Charter firstly? What is included in the Article 99, why it was invoked for the first time, on which grounds it was invoked for the first time? Is the provisions of the UN Charter internationally binding, or it is not binding? So these details you should be keeping it in your mind with respect to this article from the prelims point of view. So why this is a news? So now United Nations Secretary General, he has invoked Article 99 of the UN Charter to establish a ceasefire. It is his demand that a ceasefire has to be established amid the Israel's military attack on the Gaza Strip. So what is UN Charter? Firstly, it is a founding document of the United Nations. So it becomes a very much like an international treaty, and because it behaves like a international treaty, the members of the UN, they are very much bound by it. The provisions of the UN Charter, they're binding on the UN member states. Then come to the Article 99. The Secretary General here may bring to the attention to the Security Council any matter which in his opinion may threaten the maintenance of international peace and security. So for the purpose of maintenance of the international peace and security, the current United Nations Secretary General has brought this matter into attention of the Security Council, the matter of Israel military attacks on the Gaza Strip. So why it is so important to maintain the international peace and security with respect to that area? Because you know that since the start of Israel military operation, more than 15,000 have been killed, with nearly 40% being the children there. And with the humanitarian ceasefire, the survival can be restored and the humanitarian assistance can also be delivered in a safe and timely manner in the Gaza Strip. So before, Article 19 has been also invoked in the past, though it is rarely invoked, but it has been invoked in the past in the two cases. Following the complaint by Tunisia in 1961 against the France naval and air forces launching an attack, and again in the Republic of Congo in 1960 following the end of Belgium's colonial rule. So these were the two cases. Now it is the third case where the Article 99 of the UN Charter has been invoked for the humanitarian ceasefire purpose, right? So this is the end of today's discussion. And before that, I want to tell you that we have also come up with the short notes of these discussion in the form of PDF, which is getting uploaded in our Telegram channel every day. So you can check that out also in our Telegram channel, right? So thank you so much.